and welcome to this week's video where we go to Milton Keynes in search of the arts. If I were to say Milton Keynes to you, what would it bring to mind? For me, it brings concrete cows in fields. It brings to mind a grid system of the roads, and it also brings to mind an amazing shopping centre. But recently, I saw Milton Keynes from the canal and I discovered a whole new world. In Milton Keynes, in 1987, a school was built. It was called the Gyosei International School, and it's a Japanese private school that was set up for the children of diplomats and executives that had been sent over here to work. In 1991, it had 1,000 pupils. Over the years, that declined till in 2002 the school was forced to close due to lack of numbers. The Japanese economic crash that had happened meant that fewer diplomats and executives were coming over to Europe to work, and therefore the school was no longer needed. To commemorate this school, there is an art trail in Milton Keynes along the Grand Union Canal. It's called the Gyosei Art Trail. It consists of 8 art pieces that were commissioned by the Linford Parish Council. It was supported by the Parks Trust, the Canal and River Trust, and Milton Keynes Council. The theme was a Japanese connection, canal history, fish, fowl, insects and invertebrates. The art installations were completed in 2016, and this is what Peter and I went in search of. I hope you enjoy it. The first piece is a beautiful mosaic by Melanie Watts featured underneath a bridge. It portrays a white barn owl swooping through the woods down on its prey. The autumn colours of the leaves are really stunning. They are made up of pieces of glass and tiles and other mosaic items. The second art piece is by Andrew Kay, and it is a life-size sculpture of a shire horse that was used to pull the boats along the canal in days gone by. It is made up of steel pieces. The look of the horse is as if it is pulling. The next piece is called Three-Post Bench and is by Jeremy Turner. It features all manner of things that you would find on or around the canal. Birds, things that you would find in the water, spiders, even down to some algae. So why don't you have a look and see what you can find if ever you should walk past this way. It's also a lovely place to sit and rest, as it's a bench. The piece is positioned underneath a bridge. It is a series of panels depicting the birds and plant life around and on the canal. Laura combines these pictures, which are in the Japanese style, with short poems by Japanese poets. Entitled What Lies Beneath. It's a bench with a rather large frog sitting on it. This piece features creatures that can be found underneath the water in the canal. It is portrayed in wood relief on the bench. On the back is a rather large fish which might or might not be a pike, chasing a smaller fish. I find that quite amusing, though I shouldn't really. This is a relief carving, as was the three-posted bench. Our next piece is by Ptolemy Elrington, and it is of a dragonfly which soars high above the canal. It is made up of abandoned and unwanted pieces of metal and other materials, but the look of it is very delicate, almost like filigree, just like a dragonfly's wings. In Japan, the dragonfly symbolises strength, courage and happiness. This next piece by Linda Johns I couldn't find. We did walk down the canal path and we looked up in the trees and it was nowhere to be seen. So if you go walking down by the Grand Union Canal through Milton Keynes and you happen to spot a spider's web up in the trees made of steel, do let me know in the comments below because I would really like to go and see it. It's called Arachne Weaves. The last piece is actually a commemorative plaque that depicts the map of the local area with the canal running through it and the positioning of the different art pieces. Despite having this map to hand, we didn't find Arachne Weaves. It's made of stainless steel and is laser cut, and it is mounted on 4 metal legs that cover the foundation stone of the Gyosei International School. It's a very interesting piece to look at, and it's set in a very nice area. I hope you enjoy looking at it if you should come down here. This brings us to the end of our Gyosei Trail. If you should continue on and walk back over the bridge, you will head towards Campbell Park, which is filled with further art sculptures and pieces. Do take a walk around. I'm finding the more that I look into it, Milton Keynes is a fascinating place for art. I'm looking forward to going back there sometime. Perhaps you will go there for a visit and see how many art pieces you can find. I hope you've enjoyed this video and would consider subscribing, liking and sharing. Thank you to my subscribers. I really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. I'm very much hoping that you will continue to watch where I go and join me on my journeys. And so, until next week and next week's video, bye!